To command the type of sound you want, you need to control where your bow contacts the string. If the bow is perfectly parallel to the bridge, the contact point will stay consistent. If not, the bow goes all over the place. But if we really understand what's going on here, we can use it to our advantage to steer the bow to the place that gets the sound that we want. So let's learn to play with a crooked bow on purpose. Here are the basics that you need to know. We're going to start with up bow only, and we're going to pull our arm back further than we normally would. And then if we do an up bow, we're going to go towards the bridge. Now if we do an up bow with our arm too far forward, we're going to go towards the fingerboard. Now if we take down bow, it's the opposite. If we bring our arm back, this time we're going to go towards the fingerboard. And then if we bring our arm forward, we're going to go towards the bridge. So this results in, if our down bow is this way, we go fingerboard and bridge. Or the other way. Here are the details on the screen if you want to pause the video and give it a try. Before we get to some exercises to practice this, we're going to look at some specific cases where this would be useful. Say you have a long up bow sustained note. If you pull your arm back, you can come a little bit to the bridge and play a very long bow because you can have a slow bow speed next to the bridge. Here is a common issue when you have a crescendo on a down bow. It's very hard to do because you have to somehow get louder while the bow is getting lighter. And most people on their down bows tend to go towards the fingerboard because they are steering the bow to the fingerboard on accident. Push the arm forwards a little bit throughout this down bow crescendo and you'll end up closer to the bridge and you can then add weight and get much louder. A common ending to a slow movement is a long note that fades out to nothing. So if we let our arm come back a little bit, we're going to steer the bow over the fingerboard to fade. Here are some exercises to train your awareness of this. The first is the easiest, and most people do it on accident anyway. We're going to crescendo to the heel. So we're going to start over the fingerboard and bring the arm back a little bit further than it should be, and then we have this, and we're at the bridge now, and then on the down bow we decrescendo to the tip. And we end up back at the fingerboard. The second one is perhaps the most useful. We're going to do the opposite, where we start at the heel, at the fingerboard, and we allow our arm to go forward further than it normally would, and the bow will go towards the bridge. And then on the up bow, it will go away from the bridge. We're going to now crescendo to the middle of the bow, which means we're going to start with our arm further back. We get to the middle and the bridge, and then we move it forward, and we decrescendo to the fingerboard. And then we do the opposite. Move. And back. So when you hit the bridge, you swap. I'll show it continuously. If you had a long note with a crescendo to the middle and away again, this is how you could do it. The opposite of that is even trickier. So we're going to start at the bridge, we're going to bow backwards so that our bow falls to the fingerboard, and then when we get to the fingerboard, we're going to bow forwards so that our bow falls to the bridge, like this. And then the opposite. Of course, you probably wouldn't exaggerate it that much in real life, but it's good to exaggerate when you're learning something new. The final exercise is really useful if you want to just play really sustained. Basically, you're going to continuously steer towards the bridge, but only slightly. So the down bow is going to go a little bit further forward than you normally would, and then at the tip you turn around and the up bow comes a little bit further towards you than it normally would. So you're doing this big oval shape, which means your bow stays right next to the bridge. Don't exaggerate this too much, just a tiny bit each way means the bow leans towards the bridge and gives you that real focused tone. Here's a bit of Massenet's meditation. Watch as my contact point changes. Bow forwards to the bridge. Bow forwards to the fingerboard. Arm back to the bridge. Crescendo to the heel. Arm forwards to the bridge. To the bridge for the harmonic. And now steering towards the bridge most of the time here. All overdone. If you get this wrong, you're likely to end up in the wrong contact point, which might mean you bow out of tune. If that statement is confusing to you, check out this video on how your bow affects your intonation.